So we got a 2009 Toyota Camry. I don't know if you can see it. It's got a bad water pump. Got one from Advanced Auto Parts, part number T1233. It's a new water pump. Comes with the pump and the gasket. So first we're going to do is get this belt pulled out the way. Get the belt pulled out the way. We're going to get the alternator off and out the way. And we'll try to get the pulley off of the water pump so we can have access to the boats. And what we're going to need to get the belt taken off, get the tension taken off the belt. It's a 19mm socket with a long ratchet. Got a tensioner down here with, I don't know if you can see that down there. That's the tensioner nut. 19mm on there. Give it a pull. Loosen the belt up. These things be hard to get off. So we just slide it off of the water pump first. Get the tensioner pulled back. Get the belt taken off and out the way. And just set it over to the side here for now. As long as it's out the way. I'm going to get the alternator electronics taken apart. Have a 10mm here. Get that loose and off. Get the nut put back on. Thought I was filming that. So we got the positive cable off. We have a bracket here. I'll just take the whole bracket off. Another 10mm bolt. Get the bolt put back in place. Oh, I just put the bolt up here. I'll put all my other stuff up. We have an electrical connector here. It's just a simple squeeze and pull. This side over here, it's got a tab right there. You pretty much squeeze it right here. The tab opens up and you can pull it off. That simple. And now we have this bracket right here. I'm going to leave the bracket on. I think I can just open this up. Get that opened up. Get that out of there. Now we have the harness disconnected. We'll slide this out the way when we get the alternator out the way. So the alternator is going to require this top bolt right here, which is a 14mm, and then it's got one under here, another mounting bolt on the bottom of the alternator. One under here, you can feel it, and that's going to be a 12mm. So what I do is take my ratchet, get it broke free. Start with the 14mm first. Oh, that joker's tight. Get it broke free. And we'll get it on the bottom to the 12mm. That joker broke free. After I get them broke free, take my Milwaukee 3/8 drive, cordless ratchet, 12 volt, and work it from there. That's a 12 millimeter nut bolt from the bottom. Now switch up to the 14 millimeter socket with a short extension on it, a little stubby. Get the top one out. The cordless ratchet come in handy. Get that one out. It's a long bolt. Now we should be able to get the alternator pulled out the way. Get that set up here, out the way. Now we down to the water pump here. We got a electrical connector here, a wire harness. We can get this electrical connector taken out the way. It's got a little tab right here. You can pry up on it. A little tab and pull it off. Simple. Now we'll be able to get this joker pulled back and out the way. So the next step here is try to get this pulley taken off. I have to find a way to hold it while we break the nuts free, the bolts. It's going to require a 12 millimeter wrench. And I'm going to try and jam the screwdriver in here between the bolt and the lip of the water pump to keep it from turning while I break the first bolt free. See if that works. Got that one broke free. I don't know if you can see what's going on there. It's kind of tight down in there. So we can get the phone moved to a different position where you guys can actually see what's going on down there. It's kind of tight though. See if that can show you anything. You can get it to stay still. Guess the phone's too heavy. Pause it first. Okay, we're back. Let's see if we can film this. Hard to see down there, right? So let's see which one we got broke free already. See, that one there is already broke free. Use that as the next pry point. So we want to get it fried. Between there and there. And we can it's kind of hard. There we go. Got that one broke free. Let's try to get the next one. free. And one more left. Okay. Got them all broke free. Let's get them pulled out. And we should have access to the water pump mounting bolts. I dropped one, but I heard it hit the ground. Oh, I dropped another one. It's bad business. That one didn't sound like it hit the ground. It might have though. Let's pull it off. Let me try to fetch these two bolts that I dropped. Okay, got the two bolts. Now check out this water pump. You hear that? Lots of clay. Let me pause for a second. So this water pump is held on with 4 10mm bolts and 2 10mm nuts. So we'll have to get those broke free. And then we'll pry the water pump back just a tad bit for the coolant to drain. Put your something down low to try to catch what you can. There'll be some coolant pouring out of here. Then we'll have to get the mounting surface cleaned up, get the new gasket on the new water pump, and I always put some RTV gasket maker on it. I get this small tube here. It's for water pump and thermostat housings, and that should seal it up nice and good. So we're going to use a deep socket, 10mm, 6-point. You always want to try to use 6-point sockets, especially with old nuts and bolts. See if we can.
Get a couple of buckets of water so when it dumps this one's flush it down the street.
We're going to get these bolts broke loose. We start with the one on the bottom here. Said it's a 10mm. Can't get the cordless down in there. So got to do it all by hand. See if I can.
Remember on my old Ford flatbed, I could get in and sit on the fucking.
Okay, so it looked like I might be able to use the cordless with the rest of them. Let's see. I always work my way from the bottom going up. I should have it in reverse. That might help. That's the next one. Keep going up. Get to this nut on this side. Like I said, we got 2 nuts on here and 4 bolts. There's a nut. Got a nut right here. Trying to be careful not to drop them. We got a bolt up top here. Fingers in there to grab them. And then we have a nut right here. And also this bracket here for this wire harness is going to come off with it. We got to remember to put this back on so we can secure this wire harness back in place. Now we got all the bolts out. We can get a screwdriver up in here behind this lip. Pry the water pump back a little bit. Let the coolant flow. shouldn't lose all your coolant. Being as that water pump is about the height of that water pump is about midway of the radiator. So the radiator should be still a half full. Get all that draining. Looks like it's about finished. Let's get the water pump pulled off. I'm surprised this thing wasn't leaking. How loose it was. How much play we got in it. We'll look at that a little later. Let's make sure we got all this old gasket off. RTV on here actually. Look like they didn't use a gasket. Let me get something to clean that with. Get this baby here scraped up. Once we get that all scraped off, I like to follow behind it with a wire brush just to make sure she's nice and clean. It's a big wire brush, but it does the job. I feel just a little bit more down here. You can feel it. Get the scraper back out. Okay, I said we all clean there. All the surfaces feels good. And now we'll work our way on getting the water pump glued up. And get this foam moved over to this side. Possibly get a good view on what I'm doing down here. Okay, so what I do here, let me get the rag down here so I know I'm in the view. So take the water pump, figure out which way the gasket goes. Looks like it goes like that. Open the RTV. Get a little film on there. Don't need much. I just use enough just to hold the gasket in place. I don't have to fight it. Should be good there. And I'll go back over it with a little film and fill any voids. So he had the thermostat replaced because the car was overheating. Got a phone call coming. Put you on mute, on pause. Okay, I had to take a quick phone call. So I just put a little thin coat on here, not too much. You don't really need it. That's it. That's all she wrote. We can get the water pump, put back on the studs, so we can get the two nuts started. Then we can get the bolts put in. Let's bring you back over to this side. Okay, so we can get the water pump sitting on the two studs here. That'll hold it in place for us. Just trying to be careful not to disturb the gasket as you go in with it. There we go. Get one of these nuts put on, preferably the one on the further side. And then we can get the other nut put on. being sure we put this bracket back up here for that wire harness. And we can get the nut started and put in for the top bracket. And we can get all the other nuts, bolts put in. I don't know what the torque spec on these are, but I torque everything down the same. It's what I call torque to stop. When it stops turning, that's when I stop turning. So we can get this bottom one put in here. Got some guys working here in the background. The customer doing a tile job. You could probably hear them talking. You could probably hear a bunch of racket back there. I'm working on his vehicle while he's working on his customer's house. So we both making money. So I'll get these tightened down. Let's see if we can get it with that. Oh, we might get lucky here. And then what I do from here, get my ratchet so I can feel for it. We'll start here. Yeah. So you can break these things off easily. So I'm gonna leave it there. It's probably about 8 pounds maybe, if I have to take a guess. Like I say, you can break these jokers easily. You can break them with a torque wrench if you don't use new ones. Try to work my way from the middle going out. Just using fingers to pull the ratchet. 2 fingers to pull the ratchet. Simple as that. Simple as that. That's all she wrote. Now we can get the water pump pulley put back on. Or put on a new pump, should I say. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it should be pretty self-explanatory since you took it off already. I shouldn't be filming this section, but I figured I'll just keep going with it. Usually I'll just stop the camera and say, put everything back in reverse of what you did to take it off. Swing this over so that should be a better, yeah, this should be a better view here. I got 2 in already, working on the 3rd one. Get in. Just got to get position in the right, get your hand in the right position where you can twist them in there. Being careful not to drop them so you don't have to go retrieve them. These again was 12 millimeter. Get it on there and tighten them up by hand first without the screwdriver. That way I don't have much to do when it's kind of tighten them all the way down. There we go. And we'll get the screwdriver jammed in there like we did to loosen, to break them free. Get it tightened up. That's 1. Two. Simple as that. So I can show you guys on this water pump. See the shaft of the water pump sticks out right there. So I was prying a screwdriver between that shaft and the nut in the bolt, and that was I was holding it with the screwdriver while I tightened them up with the wrench. I get this wire put back in here like so. There was a wire down here. This wire had an attachment on it that slides into the water pump. I didn't show you guys that, I don't believe. Let me show you what I'm talking about. In the bottom of that water pump, it's got this hole here. This hole here in the bottom of that water pump. And this wire locks into that to keep it positioned out the way of the pulley. Make sure you don't damage that. Get that wire put back in there. And up top here, we can get this locked back in like so. Pull it back up to where it was, and we can go about putting the alternator back in. Okay, so I thought I was still filming here. I don't know what I forgot, but I got the alternator put back in. I hope you guys saw that. I realized my camera was still paused. I had a customer come up, talk to me, and that's that. Either way, it was the reversal of the removal, and it's easy enough to do without a bunch of special tools. Actually, no special tools were needed here at all. Make sure your belt's lined back all up, all the pulleys with all the grooves. Everything's tight. Make sure all your bolts tight. Get you some coolant put back in the system. Make sure you got the right coolant for it also. In this case here, we're using this Asian formula, and it's good for Toyotas. It's red, just like the coolant that was in it. Red, pink, whatever you want to call it. And if there's anything I missed putting it back together, just remember it's the reversal of the removal. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit that like button. I was able to do it, so I know you can do it.